What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Here to bring you a video on Zach Wilson potentially losing his locker room, especially his defense. Now, let's talk about it. So, as we all know, yesterday the Patriots and Jets game was a terrible game to watch. just keep it clean and simple. Terrible game to watch, boring game to watch. But as I've been saying all year, especially I did a video October 17th, the day Elijah Moore came out and said he wanted to be traded. I did a video stating that Moore probably isn't the only one that's upset and want to be traded, or at least want Zach Wilson gone. I'd say in that video, Joe Flacco started with the first 3 or 4 games, and even though Joe is washed up and all that stuff, Joe put up some pretty good numbers, and at least it's not about the numbers; it's about the attempts, about the throws, about at least having the threat of getting the ball and running a decent offense. And that was the thing. But Joe Flacco did put up good numbers, about 300 yards for the first couple games, and played pretty well. And since Zach Wilson has been back in the starting lineup, he's been terrible. He's been terrible. And yesterday, Garrett Wilson spoke out, called, and he supposedly, from what reports say, the star rookie Garrett Wilson came out and stormed out in the locker room after the game yesterday, fussing at the coaches, fussing at players, stuff like that. He also went into the press in front of his locker, which we've seen on video, and he said stuff about the play calling, coaching, and also Zach Wilson, the quarterback play. And we all know the famous Zach Wilson, who's now viral now. The Zach Wilson question. I don't know if it's Just Be Right or whatever, but the press, the media asked him a question. Did you let your defense down? Zach Wilson said flat out no. And then now Sauce Gardner and Jonathan Franklin Myers, the defensive tackle, slash defensive tackle, whatever, defensive lineman, he's came out, and they both like tweets that are anti Zach Wilson, and both have came out and said, "Oh, we made a mistake. We didn't mean to like it." That's not a good sign, man. That's not a good sign. I'm telling you right now, if I can, if I can see back October 17th that Zach Wilson lost the locker room, I saw that back then. Trust me, these players are there day in, day out. There's no way in the world. And man, well, I'll say that. I'll take it back. It's highly unlikely Zach Wilson is the quarterback next year for the New York Jets. These players aren't having it. These players are speaking out. This is players speaking out. And these are new age tactics. If they do have veterans, so I'm not gonna say they don't, but these are just new age tactics. Because if you had a real veteran on that defense, which you do have guys like C.J. Mosley and more other guys, who are long tenured vets, stuff like that, they would go to Zach directly, which they might behind the scenes, and say, "Yo, I don't know what you think think you don't say in the media, but you do owe us. Like you play like garbage, But the Sauce and the Franklin Myers to do this, I'm not mad at it. You know, uh, when you're paid the big bucks, you take the good, you take the bad, and when you come out and you know do an Aaron Rodgers type of move and throw your teammates under the bus. Wilson does an Aaron Rodgers type move, but doesn't have that same uh, cachet as Aaron Rodgers, or the same resume. Clearly, Rodgers, what 3, 4 time MVP, won one chip, considered one of the best of all time. You know what I'm saying. So Wilson's nowhere near that. He's a year two guy who's struggling to keep his job. And for you to say no, you didn't let your defense down, who played a great game yesterday. That's just unacceptable. So I'm not against that. I'm definitely, you know, I'm not against it, but I understand where the defensive players are coming from. As I said, it's no more of a new age tactic. I'm a young guy too. I'm just a little bit older than Sauce and those guys. So, I'm not 30. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I understand the way of doing that and not being too confrontational. If that's not what happened behind the scenes, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, man, I just don't see Zach being the starter next year. Um, you know, I'm looking at, if I'm the Jets, I'm looking at veterans. I don't know who. I don't have an option right now. But you can't go a young guy because a young guy isn't might not be ready unless it's Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, something like that. Maybe Will Levis, but they don't have a high enough pick for that. Then you got to go to a veteran. Which veteran could be available? Rodgers, which is tempting. I do see that Rodgers is very tempting. Garoppolo is tempting. Because you have weapons. You already have the weapons already there. Wilson, Moore, Corey Davis, the Bengals tight end CJ. I forgot his last name. The two running backs. Now you have James Robinson. You have talent. You have talent there. So. Um, Decent O line, good defense, very good defense. DJ Reed and Sauce at corner, Mosley and the boys at linebacker. They have a good defense, a good overall team. They just have to get it together and get the quarterback right. And unless Wilson turns it around, which is highly unlikely, man, it's highly unlikely. He was supposed to be the same mode as Pat Mahomes, and he's and he's I can only laugh at that. He's nowhere near that. He's nowhere. He looks terrible. He looks terrible. He looks atrocious. Seriously, like it's crazy how bad Zach Wilson looks. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm not taking no personal shots because I understand these jobs are hard. These especially quarterbacks are doing. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but as I said, you get to pay the big bucks. You know, to figure it out. He had time. It's 2 years. And I'm normally a guy who says guys need time off, but he's had time off via injury. He missed the start of this year. He missed the ending of last year. So, but excuse me for that email coming through. Turn that notification off. But with that being said, he's had time off the field from playing, time to watch the beginning of this year, the ending of last year, and all summer, preseason, all that stuff, spring, to get right, to get mentally ready, to get physically ready, to learn the playbook with the new coaches, to do everything, to do all that. And it's just not, it's not clicking. It's not clicking. And, there's just no way. I say no way, but it'll be crazy to see him come out next year playing the same way if he finishes this year out. If he can turn the switch on, I can't even talk, flip the switch, and just start playing like they thought he could, and show some glimpse of okay, we got something here. I think the defense can rev up around that and finish strong and be happy with what they have in Zach Wilson going into year 3. If he finishes out the rest of the year just like this, man, I think the defense might riot. they might riot, bro, because there's no way in the world Zach Wilson can start next year with the defense playing this well, with the offense is set up how it is. And like I said, everyone's playing well for the most part but him. They have weapons. Offense, no line is decent. Little injuries here and there. Well, some big injuries here and there on the offensive line, but they got weapons, receivers, tight end, and backfield. Got a good defense. The quarterback is just garbage, and that's normally the hardest part to figure out. So I'm looking at the veterans. Like I said, just on a quick list: Derek Carr, Rodgers, Kyler, if available. Stuff like that. Uh, Kirk probably not going to be available. Wentz maybe, something like that. But just a quick thought and stuff like that. But yeah, man, Zach Wilson is going to be tough to see him start next year if he is with the Jets. I can't particularly see it, but I would love to see him be a backup for the Seattle Seahawks, something like that. Kind of a Drew Lock type thing. Talented young guy, all the talent in the world, just need to figure it out, needs time to grow. Going to Seattle behind Geno with Drew Lock, or Drew Lock might be going on next year, will be a good learning spot. Maybe somewhere else, New York Giants, might be a better spot for him. But right here in New York with the Jets as the starter, as a clear as day starter, no question, with Flacco behind you and the other dude behind you, no. That's not going to cut it no more. I don't think. The defense not having it. The offense is being fed up. Elijah Moore already pissed off. And now you have your star receiver, your star rookie being pissed off as well and calling people out. And he's quiet and mild-mannered. Yeah, something got to give. And I think Zach Wilson will be the guy that gives. Like I said, maybe this year, maybe in the summer, but I think he's going to be the one that's going to be gone from that roster, or at least from the starting spot, and they'll have someone more capable, like a veteran, to come in and take over for them. So that's it for video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.